Done. Don't pick him. Morgan Freeman could upset, I guess, on the name basis and his body of work, but he won recently for $1 Million Baby back in 2005. That was a supporting category, and sometimes the Oscars view the supporting categories as lesser, so maybe they might want to give him best actor. Maybe. All right. Colin Firth, A Single Man, poorly reviewed. It was the first ever directed movie by Tom Ford, who used to be the designer, I believe, for Gucci. Didn't really do so well. We're going to take him out of this. Okay, who we at? George Clooney, Up in the Air. George Clooney has been nominated for a multitude of awards recently for the Oscars. I mean, if you recognized him from being just on Roseanne or what's the show with Trudy, whatever, you know, on the skates, and Joe, The Facts of Life, with Mrs. Garrett, who always yelled, "Girls, girls, girls!" That one. Yeah, he's actually become a legit actor. And he's been nominated for Best Director recently, Best Writer, and he's won an award for Serenia, for Best Supporting Actor. He was great in this movie. He's not going to win again. Although his organization of the Haiti relief efforts might actually help. It's weird what constitutes help in these categories. Part of me says none of it matters. Jeff Bridges has swept the majority of the critics' awards. With that said, again, just like Christoph Waltz, his speeches have been terrible. I'm not predicting an upset because, again, this is another one of those lifetime achievement categories. He's done so well this year, and he has worked with so many different actors. Pick him, but if you're looking to just play wild, go with Morgan Freeman. The big category this year is Best Actress. It's a category that has a couple different possible winners this year. Let's go through the nominees. Okay, where are we? Best Actress, Lead Actress. We're gonna start with Sandra Bullock in The Blind Side, Helen Mirren in The Last Station, Carey Mulligan for An Education, Gabourey Sidibe in Precious, and Meryl Streep in Julie and Julia. Start with Helen Mirren. Helen Mirren, recent winner for The Queen, probably a much more acclaimed performance. She didn't really win any awards this year, and she's kind of the old faithful in that, I don't mean she's old, well, she kind of is, but she's kind of a cougar too, but she's still really old. And don't do it. Just don't vote for her. Carey Mulligan, An Education. Education is nominated for Best Picture. I don't know about it, and you probably don't know about it either, which probably means that that's done. But with that said, Marianne Cotillard won 2 years ago for Best Actress for an art film that none of us ever saw either. I guess it could happen. Gabourey Sidibe for Precious. Again, the nomination is her award. It's her debut film performance. They don't really award debut acting performances, particularly in the leading categories. Like I said, recently Jennifer Hudson won for her acting debut, but it's a little different because there's actually some really, really strong candidates in this one. None of this matters because everyone is saying that it's coming down to Sandra Bullock and Meryl Streep. Now, some years when we have two strong frontrunners, they cancel each other out. Look at the year Adrian Brody won. He really had no right to win, but Daniel Day-Lewis and Jack Nicholson canceled each other out. Thus, he was able to swoop in and win. That's not going to happen this year. Meryl Streep, despite 16 acting nominations, only has 2 wins. One for Supporting Actress for Kramer vs. Kramer, and a lead acting for Sophie's Choice. But she's not going to win. It's going to be Sandra Bullock because Hollywood owes her a big thanks. In a year when we were struggling in terms of the economy and actual people getting people to the movies, she had 2 strong box office hits with The Blind Side and The Proposal. This is her thank you. She's resurrected her career, starting with Crash, from those terrible movies like Speed 2. She is back and better than ever. She's given some good speeches. She's in it. She's in it to win it. I would prefer Meryl to win. Especially since I don't think she's won in a very long time and she's overdue. Then again, she should have won last year, and Kate Winslet should not have that Oscar that's sitting on her mantle. But the big one, there are this year 10 nominees for Best Picture. This is going to be the toughest year to predict in a long time. There is no way of predicting which one's going to win. Let's go through the nominees. We have The Avatar, The Blind Side, District 9, An Education, The Hurt Locker, Inglourious Basterds, Precious, A Serious Man, Up, and Up in the Air. Let's knock off some of the lists that don't even deserve explanation. An Education, not going to win. A Serious Man, not going to win. Up in the Air, not going to win. An animated film has never won this award. In fact, this is the first, I should say Up, not Up in the Air. Up is the first animated movie since Beauty and the Beast in 1992 to be nominated. That's out. Which leaves us with, let's go one by one with them. Up in the Air, great film, lost buzz that it had in early January. It lost its buzz before voting season started. It also hasn't won the big awards, the Golden Globe or the SAG Award for Best Ensemble. Thanks for playing. You're out. Precious had a huge buzz in October. For them, though, their award's going to come in the supporting actress category. It wasn't able to sustain, and what was really groundbreaking in October in its filming documentary style didn't hold up against the really heavy production values of these other films. It was, through its recognition, got a really good box office. That's its award. Inglourious Basterds has a chance to win. Quentin Tarantino is beloved by the Academy, but I don't feel that this is his year either. I think that this year comes down to Avatar and The Hurt Locker. Blindside is not a heavyweight. That is out. Same with District 9. So Avatar and The Hurt Locker, directed by two former spouses. Avatar directed by James Cameron. The Hurt Locker directed by Catherine Bigelow. I believe Catherine Bigelow will win Best Director, becoming the first female to ever do so, especially since she is I'm getting excited, the first female American to be nominated for that category since Sofia Coppola. And I believe that Avatar will win Best Picture. Now, most of the precursor awards have been split amongst the two, and many of the predictors are saying Hurt Locker is in the lead. Don't believe it. Hollywood owes a big French kiss to Avatar for saving its career. It's the #1 movie of all time across the world, and it's done a lot to resurrect the movie industry and get people to the movies. It will be Avatar. We are splitting the categories this year between Best Picture and Best Director for the first time in a long time. So, I have some stories to share. I'm a little winded from those Oscar predictions, but I was just in Boston for the NACA conference, which is the National Association of Campus Activities. Now, I've got some good news and some bad news. The bad news is I had a terrible night's sleep. This is true. Every night. I don't like soft beds. I felt like I was sleeping in a marshmallow. My back is still jacked up, so if anybody out there wants to give me a massage, I'm in room BLC 136. But listen, the first night we were there, I was surviving off a 2-hour sleep because I get nervous before travel. I was sweating, the whole 9 yards. But go through the line. As soon as I got in the seating area to get on my plane, I realized we were sitting in the wrong seating area, so we had to rush off. The plane was already boarding, so we had to get on. We got on the plane, whew, made it through a long day of travel. All I wanted to do was go to bed. Getting ready to go to bed, all of a sudden the fire alarm goes off. We got evacuated for about an hour. I ended up at a grocery store buying trail mix to get through my first night, but slept terribly throughout the course of the trip. On the last day, February 16th, the infamous day, as I like to call it, we were traveling home. Next thing you know, our flight gets canceled. The second flight gets canceled. The third flight gets canceled. By the time we got on the fourth flight, I was exhausted, and it was not fun. But I have news, and I didn't even share with any of my producers. This week, I met Snooki. Snooki was at the conference and doing a signing. I told her, I went up to her, I said, "Hey, Snooki, unlike all these other phonies, me and my 5 students that I brought, are actually from Jersey." Her, in her infinite wisdom, love her, turned and says, "Oh, well then we got a fist pump." I fist pumped with Snooki, and then I turned to her and I went, "Hey, congratulations on all your success," and tapped her on the back. She kind of loved it. She'll remember me, I think. Whatever. So I met her. I'm trying to think who else I met. I met Jim Belushi, who was doing a random signing in the hotel we were at. There was a little bit of a mall attached to it, so he was doing it. Very nice guy. He looks every bit as old as you would think he would. We met Jamie Kennedy. Jamie Kennedy, as you know from Scream and the Jamie Kennedy Experiment, looked like hell. Was a very nice guy, gave our students the attention, but the magic of soft lighting, as you can see from this screen, and just the best makeup in America. He was looking brutal. Some of my students met the drummer from Aerosmith. They had a really nice time meeting him. I didn't hear him say one word. I don't think he's capable of doing so. That's why he drums. And some of the new Real World cast. I don't actually watch the Real World this year, but I just kind of went up to them and let them know that I didn't think they were all that, just to let them know. You know what I mean?